Well, g'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. We'll see how we go with shooting a garden update today. It is windy out here. Hopefully I don't need to do a voiceover, but if I need to, I need to. It was pouring rain this morning and now it's windy this afternoon. So yeah, the elements are striving against. All right, on with the tour. As per usual, we'll start with the big bed. Okay, our little jalapenos. They're hanging in there. Yeah, not making great gains, but they're not going backwards either. We have lost this tomato. You'll see I've just got a stalk left on it, which is a bugger. That must have happened this morning or last night. This one's doing great guns. This little fella's one of the new ones, and that's coming along great. And I had a new one on this end, which has died off. Either the birds or slugs or something got it. So I've gone out on special clearance for $2, a Gross Lizzie tomato. This is an Australian favourite. It's a salad type tomato. As you can see, it's pretty advanced. So we'll pop him in the ground and take over. Also picked up a herb pack so they can go in, and there's some butternut pumpkin which I'll show you in a bit. Okay, so our cucumbers, they're coming along. We've got a couple little flowers. If I get any female at this stage, I'm gonna pluck them straight off. I don't want the plant when they're so low to have females. Also, they don't need the load on them. As we can see on this one, a bug or slug has found it. Those slugs are killing me, so I guess I'm back to nighttime patrols and check out for them. But yeah, all of them have sort of got that first flower going, so they're all coming along great. They've hit the garden and they're doing fine. Okay, our zucchinis, the replants have come up great. I've got two healthy looking little seedlings there, so I'm not sure whether I'm going to split them up and give them a bit more room, or we'll see what happens. The big fella, you can see we've got some female flowers doing awesome. They look like they're about to flower tomorrow, if not the day after, and if the birds don't take out the flowers, then I should be able to pollinate them. Alright, on to the non-Italian pear. Little weird fella, he's kicking along, he's doing good. The ones I planted last week, they're suffering a bit, but they're coming along. And the other two, doing good. They're absolutely starting to kick it up. You know, they went in at the same time as this fella, and they're absolutely killing it. Oh, I missed this little zucchini. He's suffering a bit. I feel we've got a bit of stalk damage or something on him, but he's hanging in there. So that's one that makes me think about separating the seedlings, because this fella's not doing so great. But we'll see what happens. Alright. One of the little pepper plants I put in the other day, this one's doing good. Alright, ow. Golden nuggets. These ones are looking a bit better. The little fellas beside them come along great. Again there. Our big one, we actually had a female flower during the week, but the birds ate the flower, so they are absolutely killing me. And two seedlings here are coming up great, and they're looking much better than the original plant that was in there, so I'll probably pluck that original plant out and let the seedlings have their run. Okay, onto our Amish paste tomatoes. Doing great. As you can see, this wind today has started knocking stuff over. So we move on to today's tip. today's tip is tying up tomatoes. Now, the ideal thing is if you're in a couple that actually sees each other, pantyhose, second-hand pantyhose that have got some laddering in them, fantastic. There's stretch in them. They work great for tying up tomatoes. They've got a little bit of give to it. I'm not in a couple that sees each other, so I've got to go to the shops, much to the amusement of the lady at the shop, my daughter who was with me, and everyone else. My daughter was making cross-dressing comments all day long. So start with their pantyhose, and yeah, this wind is horrid. Just cut the leg off, and you just cut it into rings. So you end up with a little cut like that, and you just open that up. Get some I prepared earlier. Okay, and then the scissors, and just separate them out. And then I've got a whole heap of plant ties. So we will tie up this little fella here. If your tie ends up too short, you can put two together, that works fine. Put just a little reef knot on that. There's the plant, nice and secure. It'll still move about a bit in the wind, and that's fine. I don't like them tied against. I like to have a bit of movement there, and that just helps to stabilize up the stalk. It makes the stalk a bit thicker if it's moving in and flexing in the wind. So I will go through and tie all the rest of these fellas up once we're off the video. Hey, grandma pumpkins, they are doing great. This one's starting to send out runners, which is awesome. This fella here is struggling, but I mean, he struggled the whole way through, so we'll see what happens. Okay, our cucamelons. You see the little ones I put in, they're getting buried by the birds daily, which is annoying. The bigger ones going great, climbing up. You know, they should be starting to set some flowers out soon, which will be awesome. Speaking of the birds, this little pepper plant, I'm actually going to pull it out. I've had one die over in the other bed, so I'll pull that one out, move it over there, and we will put in our butternut pumpkins. I know Americans call them a butternut squash. Here they're a pumpkin. They are probably my favorite one, so that's what I'm going to be putting in. I didn't have any in earlier because I couldn't get any seed for them. These are again just store-bought started, so they will go in and on they go. Okay, our kale bed, which has also got our paprikas in there, which are coming up great. In there, another one there, another paprika there, and some sunflowers that are really kicking off. Oh, they are looking great. They're only a small sunflower, but they're really starting to put some height on them. Now, I'm not harvesting anything this week because I've got to do this Shed Wars cooking challenge. At the moment, I haven't worked out what I'm going to cook, so I'm not going to harvest anything. So I'm not going to put any weight on the table this week because I'm not sure what I'm going to be cooking. What was the spinach bed and is now the pepper bed. You see, this one's doing great. This one's doing great. Little fella's doing great. That one fell over. You know, that's not too bad. So the one that the birds are burying daily, that's going to come over here. Yeah, our spinach is slowly heading to seed, and our sunflowers are looking great. Okay, the Cherokee Wax Bed. I am really not happy with these. As you can see, they're beaten, they're battered. They're all laying over. I've got a few little beans on them. There's not much of a crop in there. You know, the insect damage on it is phenomenal. They are just not doing good. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. I think I'm going to leave them run for now, but I don't think I'm going to be planting them again unless they kick in for a later season. Potatoes looking great, absolutely looking great. As you can see, wind smashed everything down again today. That's the problem with being up a bit higher, that everything's exposed to the wind. You know, so that's an off-putting part of having them in containers, in grow bags, that sort of thing. But as you can see, where that's knocked down, it's got a new plant coming up, so it's going to replace the one that's been knocked down. This one here, the same will probably happen. So I'll just let what's laying down on the ground replace itself naturally. Now I probably could pick some new season potatoes out of here, and it may happen for the cooking challenge. We'll just see. I'm still trying to work out what I'm going to cook. Alright, the Violet Queen beans, they are, you know, comparing with the Cherokee Wax, and there's no comparison. They are just looking great. It is absolutely full of beans in here. And great healthy beans. You look through in there, yeah, there's just masses of beans all over it. It's looking awesome. There's new flowers coming through, so new beans coming up. As I said, the comparison between these and the Cherokee Wax, there isn't one. I really love these ones. They are a fantastic little bush bean, and they are definitely will grow again. Okay, here we have our pak choi, which is going to seed and still getting continually nibbled on by cabbage moths. And we have the lazy housewife, and everyone saw the harvest I pulled off it this week, off it last week, and we have a bunch of beans there again. You know, it is just coated with beans. You know, number of beans this is putting up, it's sending up new shoots continually, new flowers. So yeah, very happy with the lazy housewife. That's probably the only one that's getting a bit too mature, but the rest of them are sort of lasting for a long time. I haven't picked since last week, and I'm not picking again today because, yet again, I don't know what I'm cooking. So we'll play with that during the week. I'll pull a harvest off during the week, one way or the other, but I want to work out what I'm cooking for the competition and what I'm just cooking for a meal. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, these are absolutely great pole bean. Very impressed. You know, there's a heap of beans on it for the fact it's in that tiny little planter. Pimply Squash, I look at it, it's monstrous. There's no female fruiting flowers yet, so as of yet I haven't pollinated anything, but you know, the males are coming in strong and hard. There's another one in there, so they are doing great. And yeah, once we do get to the female flowers, I'm sure it's going to do great still. Okay, we have our Morenzos. Obviously they need tying up as well, and we have down there, if you can see it, I don't want to be too rough with it, we have our first tomatoes starting to form for the year, which is awesome. So yeah, like I said, I'll tie these ones up and get a bit of water back into the bed, But yeah, very happy. You know, the one on the other side, again, it's doing well. It's spreading like anything. So yeah, very happy. Our little pepper plant in this bed, doing great. Oh, that's shooting up. And we have one on the other side, which is a bit overshadowed at the second, but look at it, it's a great little plant. You know, it's not minding the competition. It's jumping up, it's putting some height on. So yeah, very happy with those peppers. It took a long time to come in, but they're coming in. Alright, there we have baby blue that I pollinated last week. It was a cross pollination, so I can't use the seed from it. But as you can see, it's starting to develop. If the pollination doesn't take, it will start to rot off, and that'll tell me that it hasn't taken. We've got more females in here, and there's the one I pollinated by hand yesterday. So yeah, really happy with these baby blues. They're doing great. Over here we have the Weeby Littles. The amount of fruit they're putting on, I don't know whether they can sustain it or not, but as you can see, we have pumpkins growing in there, which is great. These ones were pollinated yesterday. That one I pollinated, and it's a cross pollination that happened the other week. There's another one in there. That one was a cross pollination. So we'll see how they all develop. You know, if I need to thin some fruit out, I'll thin some fruit out. This one here, we got one that was pollinated earlier in the week, and two that I pollinated today. So yeah, they're coming along great. And as you can see, there's still plenty of female fruit in there. So very happy. Okay, San Morenzos in this bed. Yeah, they're not as big as the other ones, but that's fine. It's probably the right time to tie them back. Somewhere we have a pepper plant. There it is. That's a bit buried up by everything. So for this one, we're gonna take some leaves off and just give it a bit more space. Yeah, as I said, that's the tricky thing with small space gardening, is making sure you give everything enough space to do its job. Take that one off. That'll give it a bit more sunlight. Alright, so he's sitting free and happy again. The reseed, two have come up there, looking great. I'll see how they go. I may pick one out because I just don't think with that complex of plant two is going to be a good thing. Sunflower starting to form up ahead. The sunflower there, a little bit away from it. And over there we have another reseed. Not getting as much sun because it's under the sunflowers, but you know, it's coming along. Alright everyone, that's the garden update for this week. As I said, no weigh in this week because I've got to work out what I'm cooking. So, you know, thanks to Robert over at Homestead Aquarius. Yeah, haven't got a lot of options for cooking this week, but we'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can knock off whatever Lynn cooks and try and do something a bit better. So I'll take some time to think about what I'm going to harvest and what I'm going to do. So no harvest, no weigh in. There's no more inside plants. They're all outside and in the garden now. So that's it. All right, thank you very much everyone for watching. Please hit the like, hit the subscribe and hit that little bell notification, so you know when I've got more videos coming out and you can watch along with me. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.